All right, hey everyone. I originally had a different video planned, but Idea Factory came out with an article that gave us some information that would have dealt with that video and possibly made it pointless. I don't know, but that's why I'm making this video. Originally, I asked people in a poll who would they most like to see in, well, ideally Neptunia Unlimited, if they could only choose one person. We heard about that there was going to be DLC, so I was thinking there's a good chance that they would be bringing some, if not maybe all of those characters into DLC. Then this came out and, well, let me just get to the point we're interested in. So this is about the Galaxy Edition, right? I think we kind of knew all this before. We knew that there was going to be a DLC, and according to Idea Factory, this is the first time they've ever done a season pass. I'm gonna just go ahead and have a prediction that we won't get the English version of the game until all the season passes are out in Japan. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like it's a safe assumption just based off the length of time that previous games were released. And we're always, when we get them, we have all the DLC from the beginning. So let's scroll down and see what they give us for the descriptions of the DLC Season Pass. Additional content DLC 1. 3 sub-scenarios, 3 in-game items, 2 in-game accessories. DLC 2. Same thing. 4 sub-scenarios this time. 4 back to 3, and then 5 has 5 sub-scenarios with only 2 in-game items and 1 in-game accessory. None of these say new character. In this video I was going to make before this, I was partially going to wonder if some of the characters would be in the story but just not be playable, since in Maho and Anri's own game, only one of the platforms actually had the 2 of them playable. The others did not. Once again, when we go to the main website, it flat out tells us 11 goddesses unite. Though that doesn't mean there couldn't be some appearances from the others. And so I was thinking, okay, what if, for example, I think the one who would be the most likely there would have been Uzume, if they asked her to do something in the background while the others are taking care of the main threat. That was my idea. And then in the DLC, we would see some of those actions that were done. Or maybe some calmer scenarios, things like that. And the first part got me hyped. I was like, that's exactly what I'm waiting on. But it's these last 2 that makes me worry. It is always possible that these new scenarios would involve a new character, but the question is, why aren't they listing it? Like, that seems like a pretty big thing they would want people to know if they're considering buying the DLC. Though it is possible that each of these in-game items and accessories could have to do with a new character, a new playable character, but again, I'm not sure. And then we just go back to, again, there's only 11. I feel like we may have to prepare ourselves that it is literally just these 11 characters who are playable. Which, not gonna lie, if these scenarios are just about the characters who are already in the game, part of me wonders if this is even worth it. Or, not worth it is not what I should say. Perhaps that it just should have been a part of the main game. Although I suppose you can make that argument about a lot of DLC. It's more so, it's just disappointing compared to, like, I don't know about you all, but I would throw out, well, no, I want in a scenario with them, I guess. But if you had to ask me, I would just prefer to have the old characters back. But I thought, based on especially how Mega Dimensions went, and they had 3 characters who were completely unrelated to the series, but now they've got a lot of characters that they could bring in that people would want to see and would make a lot more sense to make scenarios for that people be a lot more interested in for the game that they could make a lot of money on. So part of me really wants to say that they're hiding the characters in question. I can think of 5 right now: Uzume, Plutia, Pishi, Maho, and Anri. That would be 5. However, I also have to point out that in the interview that they did confirm that Sisters vs. Sisters, it was planned to be canon, but since Sunako wanted to be a part of the project from the beginning, it was no longer canon. So that could mean that they are not going to address, I mean, this game should be, like, Uzume being in the game is one thing, but if Maho and Anri exist in this world, they can't just not address them, especially if it's an apocalyptic event. So we'll know one way or another. Because just because that game wasn't canon doesn't mean they're not going to do anything with them anymore. But then there is the last thing. So I started on this image, right? We have silhouettes of the candidates as well, and we kind of saw that before. This has always been here, just closer images. And I think I'm really liking Unis from what I'm saying, and Nepgears too. In fact, more than that, we can see it. They did a little small comic here. And I'm oh wait, that's your old outfit. Or is it? Actually, no, that might be your new one. No, it's an old one. You got short sleeves on there. But why I'm mentioning this is because we have new designs of the candidates. They're not released yet, but they have silhouettes. Not the ones I just saw. Let me show you. Look at this. They have stayed the same, well, particularly Uniram and Ram. Nepgear had small change, but in every appearance they have been in that they could transform, they've always been the same. But now, I can clearly tell they're different. They've got new processors just like the others. Which makes me wonder about what I said before. Obviously, the main 4 are a fusion of their next forms, and it's possible that the candidates might be taking inspirations from the next forms. For example, Noir's got this head accessory here. It looks very similar to what Uni's got going on here. And Ram and Ram never had anything here. Looks like now they have the hats. Whereas Blonde does not. But what I'm also wondering is, does this mean that it's less likely they're going to bring new characters in? Because they're literally giving everybody new designs. And is it possible that the flight capabilities, or just the capabilities in general, because from what we saw from the gameplay, they also fight in the air as well. So were all of these designs made with that capability in mind? If so, then that changes things from simply bringing the old characters back. I was thinking there'd be no problem with bringing the older characters with their older processors and, just have them having similar animations as the others. But with the candidates having a new transformation, and the DLC not specifically stating that they have new characters, I'm wondering if they thought they just wouldn't bother with it. I haven't given up hope yet. Clearly, since they're hiding the candidates right now, they may also reveal that they actually are bringing other characters back. Maybe it's their way of generating hype as we get closer and closer to the main game. But right now, I won't deny that I am a bit worried. How many characters we have? Well, it looks like 11 here, but if I assume the worst, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. 14 could be IF and Compa. What I'm trying to decide is, as normally DLC items tend to be the swimsuit variety, I was wondering if all these 3 in-game items were those. And if that's the case, that could just mean the base forms of all the characters here. Plus IF and Compa. Although I don't think, part of me was wondering if they would even let IF and Compa join in this time. Because it seems like every character needs to be capable of flight. It almost seems like they would have to be goddesses in order to even be playable in the game effectively. But I don't know. So that being said, I would really be curious to see what you all are thinking. Because it also could be, I mean, I don't think they have a habit of bringing this stuff in the game, but it also could be scenarios based off of these. There's a lot of options they can do. And yeah, see, even this, like there could still, stuff is still in the works. And I do like that. Seeing all 3 of them together. Because they should be their family. Not siblings necessarily, but still. The last station blood runs through all of them. And these are nice too. Yeah, we'll see when the candidates get released. I imagine they're waiting for a reason. If we don't see a change or more information given about the DLC, then we'll raise the alarm. But for now, I'm just trying to get myself prepared in case things don't turn out the way we think they will. So, with that being said, please post your thoughts about this down in the comments below. And I will catch you all for whenever we get more news next time.